Warning: this program may contain explicit language that may be considered offensive or inappropriate to children and some adults.
The following content is intended for mature audiences only.
Sorry, y'all. I haven't been here in a minute, so because I haven't been on StreamYard in a while. Hey, everybody! Welcome to Geekin Out, our bi-weekly Geek Fest, where we talk about all things geek culture, geek including anything that we deem that people would get bullied for in high school. Essentially,
everything I loved.
Right. But we were the group of people. And the people before us that went through the torture of being geeked and beat up and teased about this stuff, so that all of the cool people can now like it in public.
Right, because rappers be making music about it.
Right now it's cool. But either way, we're gonna talk about Falcon and the Winter Soldier today. I'm Duryea. This is Rikia. Rikia is social media manager extraordinaire, owner of Ricky Z Management, Ricky Z Social Media.
Yes.
And then we've got Chris Steele, who is an HR manager, but he's also a silent geek. No, actually a very vocal geek. A theater nerd. Right, I don't know I said that. We've got Julian. Julian is I have choice words, but I'm going to reserve them. Julian is a great friend of mine, funny anime enthusiast, big nerd. And then we have Dondre. So ignore the new title. The title sequence had a special guest as Justin Draper. I have to he is sometimes a special guest, and I have to fix that. But our special guest tonight is Dondre, model, fashionista, natural hair enthusiast.
No longer Milli Vanilli.
Yes. No longer Milli Vanilli, and apparently doesn't own a clock.
Whoa. I told you. Wait, no. I told you what it was, and did I not make it here on time?
If on time is 2 minutes after 8 o'clock, sure.
On time is sound check, but
on time is 7:30.
You know what? This is my first occurrence, and it won't happen again. It's all right. I'll take the L.
It's okay.
I'll take the L.
But he's here, and he's special guest hosting with us because he was so excited when we said we were going to do this episode. He's like, "Bro, I'm coming back." Period. So we are going to talk about Falcon and the Winter Soldier tonight. I'm so stoked to talk about it. But first, I want you to take a peek at a small ad. The Springers Outdoor Theater Festival rides on with the best little whorehouse in Texas. A country western musical with modern sensual appeal. Join us and laugh, cry, hoot and holler, all while sitting underneath the stars. Wrangle your tickets now by visiting SpringerOperaHouse.org. Best Little Whorehouse in Texas plays April 29th through May 9th, only at the Springer Opera House. That was an ad for Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, which is playing at the Springer Opera House. They're doing outdoor theater festival to maintain.
Say it right, Duryea. Say it right, not the Springer.
The Springer.
The Springer.
Yes. The Springer is doing Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. Start opening this Thursday, playing 2 weeks, 4 nights a week. It's going to be epic. It's going to be awesome. Outdoor theater at its finest. The music is beautiful. The dance is very difficult, but it is beautiful as well. I will be in that show along with a lot of people that I know and love. The Springer, I love everything they do. I love also that they're bringing art to the masses, and they're finding a way to do it in a COVID-safe environment. All right. So before we get into our big conversation, let's do what are we geeking out about? Just a small check-in where we check in with each person and we say, hey, what are you geeking out about? What's new in your life? What is something that's coming up that you're like tweaked about? So let's start with Mr. with Andre.
Damn.
Hello.
Hi guys, my name is Andre. So, what am I geeking about? Oh my god, it has been a big day. First things first, I want to give a little shout out to Duryea, who's been supporting me right now, because I'm actually low-key trying to get back into acting, and he's already got me on the right step forward. So I have a role that I'm trying to get casted for, so making a reel for this Friday. Other than that, I'm super excited because I just heard word from a job I was trying to get over on the other side of Canada because I'm trying to relocate. So interview today was kind of crazy, but I'm excited.
Okay.
You say relocate.
Relocate.
You going to Canada?
Well, no, I live in Canada.
No, he lives in
Oh, you live in
Canada.
Canada.
Julian,
Sorry,
where have you been, babe?
But I'm finna go to the other side of Canada.
Okay, wait, what part of Canada do you live in currently?
Toronto, Ontario.
Okay, you want to go to
Edmonton, Alberta.
Okay, that's on the other side.
That's a new time zone.
I'm just gonna say it's on the other side.
It is 2 hours before Eastern. I'll be right by the mountains, so I'll be snowboarding. It's gonna be fun.
At least there's that.
Do it, man. Do it.
So there's nothing in geek culture that you're geeking out about?
Oh, well, if we're gonna talk about that, Invincible.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard
into that.
I've heard good.
Yeah.
I heard he just gets his ass kicked every episode.
He does, and I mean, he's a brand new superhero. He's a little cocky because he has expectations built on from his father being like the Superman of the universe, right? Or of the world, pretty much. So I wouldn't ride on that too much, but it's a damn good show. Like if you ever like The Boys, I feel like this actually is doing it a little bit better. It's a bit uncanny for a superhero series where they're doing unexpected things, but I really am appreciating it. The only thing I have to get by is the animation. It's a little lazy,
Okay.
but without that, it's damn near 10 out of 10.
Not lazy animation.
This is animated, yeah. This is animated though, yeah.
He just said the animation.
Obviously. Okay, I was gonna ask before, but this is on
Right, ease up.
Amazon Prime.
Damn.
Amazon Prime. Okay, because I haven't seen it. Ooh.
Me?
Yes.
I didn't even
Wait,
hear
like
it.
me? Like this Duryea?
Dear Rashad, yeah.
Ooh,
Ease up, sir.
I stay easy.
Be easy, sir. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Andre.
Oh, all is fine. I'll leave it at that. It's definitely been really riling up. They just did episode 7, so it's very different. Like you're gonna get gore out of this. It's very well done.
So, wait, when you mean lazy, how do you mean lazy? Because
I mean
is different in different respects.
I mean the background's gonna be kind of a different style from the foreground sometimes.
But sometimes that's a choice.
But
it is a
choice. That is sometimes a choice. But it could be budget.
But even sometimes,
what's that show that I love? I feel like it's like Cartoon Network's version of Family Guy, The Adventures of Gumball.
Yeah, that one's like that.
Oh,
they do like the animation in the background aren't.
So no, it's not that nice because that still looks kind of seamless. They're definitely
I don't think it looks. I think it's just as soon as you see it, you're like, oh, that's a choice.
Yeah.
You know?
This one looks like you'll see them flying, and it looks like they just decided to take this still of him flying and make it go like this. Sometimes.
Yeah.
It's
kind of jerky.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Essentially, they miss the slides in between. They cut out the animation in between, and they go from one scene, one stage to the next without.
I would say they were rushed in production or something like that, but it looks good enough.
There's another thing because for certain animations, I think it works really well because that's what I was actually talking about for Star Wars, for the Clone Wars. When I was first watching it, I was like, oh, the animation in this is kind of choppy. You know what I mean? And it was I want to say a little bit at the time, but it worked really well because Jedi reflexes and things, everything's it's very quick. You move from your one position, you're in the next, within an instant. So it kind of worked with the fantasy of the world.
Yeah.
But the animation itself was a little bit choppy, so I was just like, oh, because it's nice when the Jedi's are doing it because it makes sense, but when everyone else is being a little bit choppy, you're like, oh.
Because there's definitely moments where it's a little more solid. Like let's say you're in a fight scene, they definitely put more effort into it. But everything otherwise is more like, well, this is what we're gonna do, and we're gonna propel the story type of thing.
Oh, okay. Also,
Yeah.
the storyline's a little too quick.
No, that's a good story though. I'm loving it.
No, you're saying
Okay, all right.
yeah, I get what you're saying. Okay, Dondre. Awesome. Thanks for letting us know what you're geeking out about. Ricky, what are you geeking out about?
Right now,
Yeah.
not much, honestly.
Is it feeling a little dry?
It is.
Oh.
Unfortunately, I know.
There's so much happening, Ricky.
I know, but like, I just haven't been able to get to do it. So like, I just watched the new Mortal Kombat and
Talk about it. Why y'all talk about it? I'll be right back. Y'all
Okay.
talk
I
about
want
it.
to know about this one.
it was okay.
It was a film.
Huh?
It was a film.
It was
It
a
was
film.
a
film.
Oh,
It
that's
was
the
a
way. I didn't realize
It was a film.
that.
You know, it had some graphics.
Which
And it had some characters
It had some characters.
Oh my god.
that were
was a
reminiscent.
Mhm.
Yeah,
There was a plot.
there was a plot.
I think I saw some CGI in there, just a
Yeah.
little bit. Yeah.
Wow.
There might have
Lots
been
of blood.
acting. There might have been acting.
There might have been.
There
The
might
might
have
is
been
might is a strong word, but there.
possible.
You know-
Jermaine. Yes, definitely that.
But
There
you know
was-
what?
Definitely some trying. There was some trying that was happening
They
there.
they tried. They did the best of trying.
Hey,
Um,
I'm just gonna say Kano deserves an Oscar for his performance in that shit show.
yeah.
Kano.
Right, like that character was pretty funny, but like I'm gonna be honest with you, like I watched it. What was it? Friday night. Fell asleep within the first 20 minutes. Try to watch it again, like
She got 20 minutes in. She was like 10, 20.
right, and then and then I tried to watch it again the next morning, and then I fell back asleep. Like
You don't even get the full. You don't
okay.
even get like a good plot in 20 minutes.
Look, I had taken 2 naps. I had already taken 2 naps, and then I watched it, and I was able to make it through the whole thing. But the whole time I was like,
I could actually go to bed right now.
I mean, okay, so Lance Johnson says, like, the fighting and gore was perfect, the graphics were dated 2018-ish, but my Sub-Zero was done justice, and Kano was amazing. Okay, so as far as, like, the graphics...
I want to know about Raiden. I was actually going to ask.
Sometimes.
So if I'm comparing the graphics to, like, the 90s version... Then like the graphics are pretty good. Like the graphics,
but the graphics were in 2021 though.
No, they weren't 2021. There's lots of blood though. I think Sub-Zero's like the way they did Sub-Zero's powers.
Yeah, his ice was gorgeous to me.
That was really cool. I enjoyed that. So that was cool.
I'll watch for. I'll watch it for the graphics. Just to be honest, this is very reminiscent for me of Aragon. Aragon, terrible motherfucking movie.
Yeah,
terrible movie.
They had some fights. They had some dragon.
Beautiful. That dragon is fucking beautiful. I'm sorry. And then that end scene when it's him against Durza, the sorcerer. That bitch throwing that fire, like that fire launching it, like that battle between the shade and then like the dragon rider. It was really fucking well done. I was like, okay, this is where all the money obviously went. Not into the acting, not into the clothes, not into the set, into this motherfucking dragon.
But there are moments where like the graphics are cool. Like we said, Sub-Zero's ice look great. But there are moments when like Raiden puts up a shield and it looks like Stargate SG-1.
Oh,
I was like,
wait a minute.
So it just came out
You said shield and I was
this
like,
Friday.
You said Stargate SG-1. I was like,
Dick. You just dated that one.
Wait, okay, you call that back.
So this just came out like Friday on HBO Max. So if you've seen it, like, tell us your thoughts in the comments of if you've seen the new Mortal Kombat on HBO Max. It was
It was
a film.
It did.
It was a film.
It did.
It
filmed.
We should do.
Did I miss
the ages?
No spoilers. Did I dodge the spoilers?
There was no spoilers. There was no spoilers.
There wasn't even a comment. It was a film.
It was a film.
I feel like
There's nothing
we're
to
gonna have to
spoil.
revisit this once I see it because
No, watch.
I know I'm gonna disagree with you.
I know because Durian's gonna be like, it was the bomb. It was great.
You already know. Look.
That's gonna be Durian, and I'm gonna be like,
You're probably gonna love the action because I have a feeling the action is like
delete
better.
contact.
It's like, it's just better than you used to.
no, because Durian's gonna be like, yeah, all this other, and we're all gonna just be like,
No, it's okay.
So yeah, that's all I've really done. Like,
I will say this though, I had a friend of mine tell me that because people would trash the old Mortal Kombat movie, and so I feel like there was nothing wrong with the old Mortal Kombat movie other than that it was old.
Right.
It was of its time.
It was definitely 90s film.
Like you can't help that you age. You can't help that. Like,
Right.
it's
Did
an
they
old
do
movie.
another one that was somewhere in between? There's
Okay,
another,
no,
another
Annihilation
one.
was absolute butt.
Okay,
Annihilation
but I
was
wanted
butt.
to make sure that there was one. I know I saw one.
But shoot, I would have took the YouTube series Mortal Kombat Legacy over this one.
Yeah, there was
actually somebody actually said that they were like they think Mortal Kombat works better as a series and not as a movie.
Well, yeah, it's a lot to pack in.
'Cause it
It's like
is
every character
story-driven.
has lore, and
Yeah,
then like
right.
Every
But-
character has lore.
every time they do them, I think the YouTube series is the only one that actually got into lore a little bit.
There was
But-
a TV show, Mortal Kombat, and it came out
Yeah.
like the early 2000s.
Yes,
Yes.
I watched that as a
Maybe
kid.
that's what I was thinking of. I was like, I know there was another Mortal Kombat like somewhere in the early 2000s. You know,
Let me find it. What was it called? It was called Mortal Kombat Conquest. Yep. Because
Yeah.
they had the man who played the prince in Cinderella as Kung Lao.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, his fine ass.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
His
That's like the only other role he's had besides
I
that,
remember that.
Cinderella, this one, and like The King and I.
Yeah. Yes.
Listen,
Yes, he was in
Yes.
the King. I remember
Unigenius,
that.
Yes.
your fact. Cause I think Kung Lao, no, Liu Kang said flawless victory, and I'm like, no, it wasn't.
It was like, no, it was definitely Shang Tsung. Where the hell is Shang Tsung?
flawless victory. Okay, so I mean, I'm gonna have thoughts. I'm gonna always have a critique, but I think I'm gonna like it because for me, like, I love a good like people getting their asses kicked, getting it up. I love that. But while I have your attention, everyone who's watching, do us a favor, and if you're watching us, head over to our YouTube channel and like and subscribe over there. Like our video over there, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so that you're notified. However, if you're watching us on Facebook, you can also go to our page, our Geekin Out page, and you can like our page there and also click the notifications bell there if you're not a YouTuber. So what'll happen is whenever we go live, you'll get a notification. And if you want to come hang out with us and geek out, you can. So we would love that. Or just like the video that you're watching right now. Let us know. Hit us up in the comments. We love you guys.
So, I'm under the impression that they're supposed to be making more.
Yeah, they said there's going to be a
Yeah,
sequel.
there's
Somebody said Gal Gadot was going to be Katana.
Well, no, okay, so
But
my
she's
problem is
problematic, honey. She's problematic.
Warner Brothers is gonna do what the fuck they want to do,
Period.
and
Have you seen DC?
Yeah.
so the problem is, like, I'm looking at this and it does not look like a mega motion picture.
No.
It did
It
not
does-
come out like it doesn't.
The
it didn't
preview
come out
looks
like a
mega motion.
Hey, they took their best scenes and said, "This is what you might like."
Oh,
They made it
wow.
palatable. So
Yeah.
like,
But I'm
I
gonna be
don't
honest,
know.
like Dondre, I'm sorry, one of my biggest celebrity crushes, and I always forget him. He's a big celebrity crush in that like every time I see him, I'm like swoon. But he's not like I think about. He don't live in my head rent free. We all have those celebrity crushes. Don't look at me like I'm crazy. We all have those celebrity. We all have celebrity crushes that when we see them, it's like, oh yes, but they don't live.
I'm just waiting for him to name him.
But when you're like,
McCann Brooks, the dude who played Jax.
Okay.
Oh
Thank
my
God,
god.
yeah.
Ooh.
I loved him
Okay.
as Jax when he did
Oh my
Guardian
god!
and
Like as
Supergirl.
soon
I
as
was
I
very
saw him in
disappointed.
it, I was so like him in True Blood. I was just like,
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Apparently.
Yeah.
usually
Wait,
I
did
like
he
to be
die?
like, usually I got this energy. McCann Brooks come around and be
sorry.
like,
Oh, you're talking about this guy.
hi.
Eggs something. Eggs. from True
Just
Blood.
wait till
I forget his
you
name,
watch
but
the
something like
movie.
Eggs,
I
there's
promise
eggs.
you, they had a
Remember
fluffer every 5 minutes with fucking coconut oil.
Yes, it was me. Hello.
It was rubbing it all over his body.
It was me in my dream.
Hey, everybody in the comments, let us know about how y'all felt about the Mortal Kombat movie. I think everybody's seen it except me. Y'all know it didn't even get number one. Anime beat it for number one, but it seems like everybody saw it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I seen
all it was a fighting. Like the fights are it. That's it.
Well, okay. Let me ask you a question.
It's been
a video game movie.
But does a movie like Mortal Kombat need a plot?
It doesn't, but it wasn't good enough for me to be happy. Like I feel like
I think it could have.
down.
Because Mortal Kombat is pretty. I think Mortal Kombat, like in general, the installments are pretty plot driven.
Yes and no. Here's how I feel about it.
No.
I feel like when you have these tournament type video games, Tekken, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, they put a story in there. But we don't play those games because of the story.
Well, no, but their backstories are also very well interwoven,
which is not because Mortal Kombat now on their 11th installment in the game.
Okay.
Tekken has a story. Mortal Kombat has a strong story.
My point is but that's my point. The characters aren't as interwoven the way that they are. I think as well interwoven as they are with Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter. There's certain ones. I guess Marvel vs. Capcom. No, actually, probably not. But that's not the one.
I got into that debate on my Facebook. I was like, because we were talking about, there is no really good video game movie. Like Dead or Alive. Sorry, that's my guilty pleasure. I know it's a bad movie, but I love it. The Tekken movie, the King of Fighters movie, the Chun-Li Legend.
Here's my pushback. Here's my pushback. There is a Street Fighter movie, but it's like a backstory of Ken and Ryu and training in the mountains.
Yeah. Shadow Assassin.
Yeah. I don't remember.
It's not on YouTube, right?
The only reason I didn't like it was because I love Chun-Li and she wasn't there. But as a movie, it wasn't horrible. It wasn't horrible.
I was actually really into it. I mean, the graphics were clean, not great, but like actually getting to see like their master Goken, how he involved with Akuma, and then him trading them after. Like it was actually
they're really well interwoven. Blanca is Guile's best friend who gets mutated by this guy, what's his face. In the whole thing, and then Akama ends up freeing him in the end, and that's where he goes ballistic and tears up his. He goes Wolverine on his facility and shit. Like there's a whole lot. There's so much more in there,
So I think the murder of it is because like Warner Brothers goes left and gets.
Let me ask the audience a question. Everybody's watching. Tell us some good. I see you, Uni Genius. You're right. Tomb Raider with Angelina Jolie.
That's Jermaine.
Was trash.
You know Jermaine. He was on.
Oh, that's Jermaine.
Jermaine, by the way. That's Jermaine. Jermaine. He was on the show with us.
He was on the show. He was on the show a few weeks ago with Mo.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Hey, Jermaine. Hey.
Hey.
But if you're saying that Tomb Raider with Angelina Jolie was also trash, then you're absolutely correct. Mm-hmm. If you're saying anything else than that,
she looked amazing. But
I love Angelina Jolie.
It did last
didn't
a long
love the
time.
movie.
Thank you. I love Angelina.
Period. Same thing.
But the part itself was
it's so sad that we're not even going to talk about the remake that they did.
Excuse me?
What remake? There was a remake? Oh, that's right, with the recast?
I watched it Wanted. I watched it. I didn't watch Tomb Raider remake.
But Hitman, wait, that Hitman movie is made off of a video game, isn't it?
Yes, Hitman is a video game.
That came out? The little bit I saw of it when I was in jail, like I saw the tail end of it.
It's Jason Statham doing Jason Statham.
No. Hitman is not Jason Statham.
That was not. It was not Jason Statham.
He's not exactly stealthy, but he could easily play that action role. You watch Crank.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking Jason Statham is the same Jason Statham in every role he does.
It's not Jason Statham, but the video looked really like the movie I saw was really dope.
Max Payne.
Max Payne was clean. That was clean.
That's a nice throwback. I forgot about that one. That was a good movie too. But Max Payne was done in like that in that comic book style, like Sin City comic book style, right? That movie. Does anyone remember the movie? I feel
a little bit, yeah.
Kind of, sort of.
I have to kind of. No. It's been a while.
Well, let me answer a question real quick. So, Jermaine, yes, there was a Tomb Raider. I think it wasn't more of a prequel. So it was like in 2018, and it had like the Swedish actress in it, Alicia Vikander, and I don't think it did well.
I mean, it didn't.
No, I don't think it did actually.
What it looked like was they got more money scored of visual effects, and did a movie that was pretty much the same problem.
Right.
Either way,
Mark Wahlberg.
So let's move to our next person. Chris, tell me what you were geeking out about.
Okay. So
I know. I feel like we're all lagging this week.
If y'all don't have nothing, that's fine. I'm totally fine with that.
No, I've got a few things.
Okay,
so all right, so I watched that Mortal Kombat movie, and it was a film. It was okay.
It was the thing that happened.
Let him talk, Julia. Let him talk.
I didn't fall asleep. And that's one thing
I did in the last 20 minutes.
I didn't fall asleep, but it wasn't great. But that's fine. Something else that I'm geeking out about, and this is going to be like so kind of niche unless you live in either Athens or Atlanta, but there's this new like restaurant that is in both Athens and Atlanta, and it's called Maypole, and it's the best thing I've ever had in my life, and I'm like obsessed.
What kind of food is it?
See you soon.
First of all, it doesn't look like it usually, and everyone says it, but I adore food.
I'm looking at flights.
For a restaurant.
It's like, okay, I can't even describe the food because I want to say it's like Southern food, but it's not like
Southern comfort.
It's not like your like Southern kitchen food, like with the turnip greens.
But they do it with like a gourmet style, so like they do your like Southern classics with like a spin.
Braised kale and and roasted vegetables.
So like their chicken and waffles is like chicken and waffles. You know what I mean? It's like
waffles.
It's a little extra more. You know what I mean? Like those waffles got strawberries on them or something.
They don't have that, but like I'm just saying, like,
but it's
just
that kind of feel.
The few things that they do have, like the chicken is so the pork is so good. And then you get like some mashed sweet potatoes, and it's like, oh my god! And this
you know the food's good when you get emotional.
roasted vegetables. Okay, and then there's a sauce. There's so many sauces, and you can get 2 sauces for free, and then you can get some more sauces
free.
And I want all of the sauces.
I'm shivering right now.
Sauces.
Oh my god.
Okay, so I'm kind of dying about this place. So like, if you ever, it's Maypole, MAE, Pole, POLE. So all right, there's that. Just try that out. I'm still dying and obsessed and can't get over Dreamgirls. Like I'm.
Oh, did you watch it? 2 weeks ago. Did you finally see it?
Oh,
wait.
There was a new one?
What do you mean?
No. We had a whole conversation about this last episode, and somebody was supposed to see it.
Oh,
somebody hadn't seen it, and they were supposed to see it, but you posted it.
Yeah, they sent the video. I remember it.
I'm so happy. Chris.
So this is what happened, Dondre. Like, no, it's not the movie. Dondre, listen. It's not the movie. There's a like, we're theater people, so he's talking about the concert version of the musical, the entire musical that they did with Audra McDonald, Lillias White, Heather Headley, Billy Porter, and Norm Lewis. And motherfucking Tamara Tooney was in that bitch. So
freaking Shoshana Bean was a backup singer in this bitch. Like,
was she really?
She was.
I didn't know that.
She was.
I love me some Norm Lewis though.
I mean, Norm Lewis.
Norm Lewis could get
all the voice alone.
Just singing to my butthole.
Hitting me. Norm Lewis. Shout out. Chris is hosting the next episode, and we're doing literally like best and worst Broadway musicals, but Norm Lewis.
No, movie musicals, because I want it to be accessible to everyone.
Okay, fine. Movie musicals.
So we can do that.
But Norm Lewis, like this thing right here on him, it don't make no sense.
Look,
it makes me really curious. How much do people on Broadway get paid? Because I'm sorry, some of them should have record deals over some of the people that be on record labels.
A lot of them do have record deals, but they sing like niche stuff. Like either they're singing Broadway numbers, they sing jazz tunes. They have like they're not pop. A lot of
Broadway,
pop.
like
I got it.
Music is very
pop.
How can I say this without insulting people? Because I'm not trying to insult anyone who's a recording artist.
Palatable.
No, it's not about palatable. It's not.
Oh.
What it's about, it's not, because everything is palatable. What it's about is appealing to like I'm sorry, shallowness. You have to appeal to shallowness with your art if you're trying to be popular.
Right.
Sadly, like even some of the deep, like I'm gonna use my favorite artist, Beyonce. She appealed to shallow things in order to get to a place where she could just do her art on a massive scale.
Right.
Because I'm not saying everything she's done is shallow. What I'm saying is she had to put out those just like Dance to This record in order to put out Lemonade.
Right.
Yeah.
And she had to earn that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people who just don't want to do that, they'll never get to that level.
I mean,
With
it took
Broadway
a minute.
artists,
It took a minute to get to self-titled. So
yeah, period.
Yeah.
With Broadway artists, a lot of them, because they're so submersed in a different type of art, they never really make that transfer. And I'm not saying it's because they don't want to. I'm not saying it's because they can't. I'm just saying it's not often that it happens. Jennifer Holliday tried to do it. It didn't work. We know how her voice is. Heather Headley tried to do it. She had a hit. It didn't work as a long career. Anika Noni Rose did. Idina Menzel did. Billy Porter did. None of these people could make a career doing mainstream pop.
are you trying to have some Idina Menzel slander? It's okay.
No, I like Idina Menzel. What I'm saying is she tried to do it, but just like everybody else, like it just didn't.
Christmas album.
It just didn't transfer because the main audiences aren't gonna. They're like when a theater person goes to. When I say a theater person, I don't mean an actor. I mean a person who enjoys theater. When we go to see a thing, we want to feel a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We're not just going to get a bop. We're going to be taken through a journey.
Yeah.
Right.
And when artists try to do that nowadays, like people don't even really buy albums no more.
No, I've been saying that for the longest.
It's all
Beyonce
streaming.
right there.
It's all about that one scene, that one song. Yeah.
Single.
So now
That
it's
moment.
like,
Yeah.
why put a whole story together?
Yeah,
Why make a whole thing? Why do a whole thing? Like we expect Beyonce to do that because that's what she likes to do. Lizzo, I'm not gonna say got lucky, but in a lot of senses, like Lizzo was like a one. Like there are artists who make albums, but I'm saying a lot of times it is these singles that hit, and you have to earn the ability to like make a cohesive album and have everybody just swarm to it. Like Ariana. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's just really hard because of the way the industry has changed over the years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So like we're saying that Beyonce made her establishment years ago. You know what I mean? When the industry was different. So now
she's grown.
when she's putting out her visual album, she has the fan base that's going to.
But I'm not even actually
album.
talking about the visual part. I'm talking about
just
the music.
The whole album. My point. You're right. The album in general, a whole album in general, like the way that because we're talking about singles versus album sales, like it's much more prominent. But like artists these days, as they're coming out, they are accustomed to the style of the way the industry is now, where in the way that consumerism is now, where it is all singles and things. So they don't.
But my point, Julian, was to say that.
No, I'm agreeing. That's sorry.
Yeah, I know. But my point is to say that because artists on Broadway are accustomed to a different type of art. We're not accustomed to, like, theater artists are accustomed to performing for an audience that has already paid their ticket.
Yeah.
You're not really gonna leave unless we just are horrible. And even if you leave, you're probably not going to get your money back.
Yeah.
So we're accustomed to performing for people who have invested in whatever experience they've already spent their money on.
Right.
But nowadays, I can buy a streaming service. I don't have to pay for an individual song. I can play that song, don't like it, never go back.
Right.
Or I can listen to three seconds. Like, I don't have to get invested. So audiences, our attention spans are getting shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. Because you remember, even musicals and plays used to be like 4 and 5 hours long.
Yeah.
Camelot.
They used to be 4 and 5 hours long. So my point is, like, we're allowing our attention spans to be. So I think you need, as audiences, I think we need to challenge ourselves to broaden our horizons a little bit.
Yes,
There's
sir.
nothing wrong with a Whitney, a Ariana, a Halsey, a Doja Cat, a City Girls, but don't let that be the entirety of your artistic palette, your artistic plate, because you're missing out on the Idinas, the Soshanas, the Megan Hiltys. You're missing out on all of these.
Megan Hilty.
You're missing out on the LaShanzes. I would say Cynthia Erivo, but I don't fuck with her no more.
Oh,
You're missing out on. Not on TV. We're not gonna talk about this on TV.
Okay.
We'll talk about it another time. But I'm just saying, there's a lot of people there's a lot of people who are doing good things, and they're just not getting the same shine because they're not doing it in a poppy way. There's nothing wrong with pop. Let's just broaden the horizons. Dondre.
Also, we have to remember that pop is very like corporate driven. So they're gonna keep it for like only. They're gonna keep like their top 10, you know.
Make it healthy.
Like, yeah, the most who makes the most money. The top 10 who makes the most money. Those are the ones who are gonna Those are the ones that are gonna keep playing. You know, everyone else after that kind of gets their priority gets lower and lower as that goes.
Okay.
So
Dondre, say what you want to say, and then we're gonna go to Julian, and then we're gonna go to me, so we can hurry up and get to this review.
Alrighty. Well, yeah,
I wasn't finished, but that's fine.
You weren't finished, Chris? Chris, I'm sorry. I'm just looking at the clock, boo. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the clock.
Fine.
Can you go? Can you? No, Dondre had a comment about what we're talking about, and then we'll go back to you, Chris.
This is so spicy. Okay, so
this is how we love each other.
I love y'all. Anyway, yeah. So there's been like this big debacle lately because just how the market and everything's changed in like let's say the past 20 years, I guess I would say, maybe 30. Like Soulja Boy is now at number 1, and people are mad because he's only number 1 for "She Make It Clap, Clap, Clap." She make it clap, 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 only because of TikTok.
TikTok. Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to figure out how I'm trying to understand how the TikTok thing translates to streams and record sales.
So because you hear it all the time.
Because you hear it all the time doesn't mean that it is.
It's because people are impressionable. So if they hear that song on their TikTok 10 times a day, they're going to want to download or buy that song. Because it's going to be stuck in their head. Okay, so let me clarify what I'm asking. So when it plays on TikTok, that's not a stream. No.
It's the people hearing on the TikTok and then
which is so interesting because I think it is because I think TikTok connects to because they do before people put in their own original sounds. TikTok is connected to like music actually as well. Yeah. Just like Instagram, you could add a music to that.
But so I believe the longest amount of a song you can play on TikTok is
like 1 minute.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it still counts as a
stream. That's not a whole song. That's not fair to count as a stream, especially when you got people making 2-minute songs and you got Beyonce making an album full of 4 and 5 minute songs.
All I'm getting is a snippet. So then what are they going to say? I like this snippet. What am I going to do? I'm going to look for the rest of the song. And that's it.
I think maybe there's a ratio that controls
that is shade.
I think maybe there's a ratio that controls
it. Not a ye old scroll. Anybody who's listening, one of the viewers just clown Chris on the low.
Oh, I know.
You don't even know. I usually have 2 things.
He usually does. I'm glad he got more. The one time Chris shows up with a bunch of stuff he's geeking out about, one of the audience members goes, Chris had a whole ye old scroll of what he's geeking out about. Okay, so let's bring it in. Chris.
That way.
All right, I'm gonna cross one of them off. Just like we're not even gonna talk about that one. We're not even gonna talk about that.
I can't.
Sorry.
Okay.
Damn.
It's good conversation today.
Mm-hmm.
So the one thing that I am gonna talk about, and I'm gonna be trite because I have not brought this up.
That is a vocabulary.
I have not brought this up like ever. But I am so geeking out about it right now, especially like this past week. I've just been so like happy that Simone won Drag Race.
Yeah, okay.
I was just happy it wasn't Candy.
I keep hearing that one.
Let me be honest. When they sent Tamisha Iman home, I didn't watch this season, but it cost. There were so many like, clips and stuff. Yeah. I saw the little fight that her and Tamisha Iman had together, and after that, I was like, I don't like people like that. I'm so mad. So Tamisha Iman got sent home, and I was like, that to me is some producers type shit. I think sometimes I think the producers did that, like to make a point, and it pissed me off. I'm not gonna get on. This is a talk it out kind of esque thing, but what I saw in that moment, an older black queen versus a younger, and I got upset. And I was like, okay, fine. But then they finally voted Candy off. And I was like, fair, because to me, Candy wasn't really giving what she was supposed to give. And then they brought her back and let her get to second place. I was like, I had so many social justice issues with.
But remember, drama.
And that's all I'm going to say. Go ahead, Dondre. And then Julie, I'm sorry.
So I don't even watch. I have two opinions on it, by the way. Her victory. So I don't even watch Drag Race, but all my friends on the internet do. So I will see performances. I will see all their I won't say costumes. Their ensemble. Yep. Oh man!
Bitch. I'm sorry. That was funny.
It's a good one. Okay. So I'll see all their costumes and stuff like that, and I really feel like at the end of the day, I had a lot of people on the internet going on about how Simone didn't deserve it, and I was like, no, the fuck you did not, because she went in every episode, giving you different casualty, like a new form of her art, changing the whole aesthetic. And I'm sorry, I ride for her furry suit. I was like, are you dumb? Did you bring a furry suit on the runway and make it look cute?
That Foxy Brown was amazing.
Oh my god.
Amazing. Amazing.
That white outfit. The white outfit though.
Wait, Foxy Brown was her snatch game? Stop. Wait, no.
I think that's what she called the furry suit, no?
No, it was the Beast Couture.
Oh, okay. I heard Foxy Brown and I was like, wait, that was nope, maybe
but
not.
Yeah, I didn't watch the season. I've only ever seen one season of like Drag Race ever, and I can admit she went the hell in every moment, every time. She was a front runner from the beginning. Admittedly, I will stand back and say her victory, to an extent, may have been a little performative, just because of the climate we've been in for the past year now. But
I'm gonna push back.
I'm gonna give her.
This is why I'm gonna push back. On this show specifically, I think if there would have been a performative victory, wasn't there a trans?
It would have been
woman.
Gottmik.
Who was on?
Yeah, you're right.
That would have been the one.
Peppermint.
If there was one that was performative, it would have been that. It would have been that one.
But
Gottmik
Sasha
was my
Sasha
second
Velour was fucking
favorite.
Amazing though. So
was she good?
Was great. Sasha,
no, it wasn't a trans woman. It was a trans man.
It's a trans man, and
a trans man.
Oh my god, Gottmik was transformative in the show. Like, was so amazing. Like, brought it every single fucking runway. If you just watch the runways,
what was the when did she get eliminated? He get eliminated.
Never had to lip sync. Never.
Listen, ever. Okay, I have to explain what just happened.
I do get it.
Drag queens who are often men and identify as men also don't mind being called she.
Yes.
So I'm not used to talking about a trans man who's a drag queen. So I'm not at all trying to misgender him. I'm just saying what I would say about any other drag queen. But
I work in the
but I will fix that.
Got it.
He when was he eliminated?
He was not eliminated. He was in the top 4.
Which one?
It was Gottmik.
Well, I know, but I don't know the characters.
The one with the white face. White face.
Who lost the battle to Candy?
Yes.
He did.
There was voguing?
He did the Hellraiser one, right?
I actually wanted him to win.
That Hellraiser.
I know. I know.
I think his lip sync was better than Candy's lip sync. I said what I said. All right.
Said what I said. Anyways,
is that it, Chris?
All right.
Are you done?
That's it. I was going to say something else, but I'm done. I'm done.
All right.
The scroll has now concluded.
Let's go.
Yeah, Lee. Y'all are awful.
Jesus.
Right. We made it to the bottom.
Julian, what are you geeking out about?
The Elder Scroll. Okay, so what am I geeking out about? Okay, so a few things. I was
about to say something so rude, Rakia.
I know. Watch your
I was
mouth.
about to say, I know what you're geeking out about, but I'm not gonna say that.
I don't even know where that's gonna go. But
I do.
Rakia know me too well. What you geeking out about, Julian?
Okay, so what am I geeking about? There was a few things and I can't remember. Okay. Oh, it is a full moon tonight, everyone. Just so you know, it's a super moon.
I just had an Eddie Murphy flash.
The pink moon.
Yo,
you are gonna be feeling it intense if you them Scorpios. Just saying.
Pluto's in retrograde.
Well, how is it gonna make you feel though? Is it gonna make you feel like horny, angry, lost?
Are you gonna be horny?
Angry
You're
and
gonna
lost?
be emotional, lost.
Really?
Angry.
Actually, you're supposed to find yourself.
You're intensified, but
like,
you're going to definitely find yourself through all of those emotions.
It's
Like,
You're gonna
this is
find
a great
yourself
time
in a
to, like,
stranger's
really-
house.
This is a
you
great time
don't
to
worry
start
about it, Chris.
doing things that are like.
Maybe I deserve a little stranger.
Stranger danger.
We're not soliciting on here.
Okay. So
Not
other things I'm
soliciting,
geeking out about. So, Full Moon
Y'all let
Day.
Julian
Also,
talk, please.
I've been watching like a lot of Star Wars, I guess, lately and things. I think we talked about this last time. No, I've already been through that. I just started like The Mandalorian. It was nice. It's nice. I'm on episode 2. Yeah, I'm on episode. I didn't have Disney Plus until very recently.
Girl, I'm on my way over.
Anyway, so I'm like, I'm watching all these things. So I'm like, it's nice. I'm like on episode 2. It's pretty cool. I'm off for it. I'm like, but I'm getting there, so I'm still kind of getting onto that bandwagon. What else? They like finally did anybody see that one space? It's on like Netflix, maybe. It's like a space. It's like a NASA sponsored like documentary. I want to say, what is it called? Oh, crap! I was just thinking of it. I just knew it too, but I can't remember. Anyway, it's a NASA sponsored like documentary. It's about space. For the most part, about going into space and like just the experiences that they have while they're out there and things. And it was really kind of breathtaking, to be perfectly honest. Like a lot of the views and stuff were just really great. And I mean, we always see these things, but like really, like if you take the time to appreciate like the planet from like a far view, it's really fucking awesome. So it's really, really awesome. So
I would love to see Earth from space at least one time.
And that was the other thing. So I got to this because they just finally finished picking their final members for the very first not full, I guess, but like civilian space mission, essentially. So it's going to be not like your regular astronaut. I mean, I want to say there's probably going to be like 2 out of like 10 people that they send, maybe like 3 of them are going to be like your run-of-the-mill astronauts, and then like the other 7 are just kind of like regular civilians that are going to now be going out into space. So it's like, it's nice. They're bringing regular everyday people out there, so you kind of get the chance to oh, that is a whole thing. I'm just saying that. Oh, guys, I'm late to the party.
What was the name of it?
My question.
I'm trying to figure out the name of your freaking show.
I have to find out because I can't remember. I feel like it's been
good
really
enough?
Popular. No, it's amazing because they were talking about skydiving, but there's space diving, quote unquote space diving, aka they're just skydiving from a much higher altitude than we would normally like know than we would normally think of, because I believe like space is like 120 kilometers above sea level technically, and these people are jumping from like 30, 40, you know what I mean, something like that. So they're not quite into space yet, but they're definitely up in like in the layers that you normally don't jump from. But it was cool because like one of the things that when I was watching it, I was like, but the heat. You know what I mean? Aren't you supposed to like burn up on your way down and things like that? But it's like, you know, they're not coming from particularly outer space. You know, they're more within our stratosphere, within our atmosphere, at a layer of some sort. So it was pretty cool. That one was nice. And then what else? I want to say there was one other thing. Oh, I've been on a recycling tip lately. So I've been like really like in that kind of like. Not that I don't normally, but I've been like doing a lot of things. Okay, stop.
Chris,
Earth Day was like the
I'm
other
leaving.
day. Earth Day was the other day, so in the spirit of Earth Day, whatever. But anyway, so we were talking about it last time with Ricky. I know she said, she was like, "Oh, I got a new desk and this and that and all these things." I was like, "Yeah, I got a new desk too, but I haven't quite made room for it yet." So I'm doing a lot of rearranging and a lot of like throwing things out and stuff. So I've like accumulated all this like garbage, and I'm like, I don't like just throwing it out into like into a bag and just throwing it out, you know what I mean? I know it sits in a landfill, but like half of these things, like there's all these metals in here, there's all this, that, the other thing. Like those things take like hundreds to thousands of years to like break down. No. How can I recycle as much of this stuff that I can? So I've been like on a really solid recycling tip, but like oh my god, guys, like, do it. It takes so much research, unfortunately, but like, take an hour, like, out of a day just to find like the one app that's like or your one county, and like, you know, go to your county's like website, and they will tell you what you can't recycle, where to bring it, things like that. And then there's like there's whole like e-waste like events usually in different towns where you can bring a lot of like your electronic things, and they will take what they can, and they will tell you like what they can take, where you need to bring what you do have, and things like that. So it's like in that part I'm going to kind of darken out about a little bit, just geeking out a little bit, because like recycling is still, that's cool. It's science at work, you know, in its own way, especially because a lot of those things are like things that we just created, but they're not necessarily a part of nature in its own way. So like when they break down, they don't break down the way that they should. So it's like you have to be conscious of those things. We have to recycle. We have to repurpose those things instead, because it will take too long to break down. So it's like, you know, things like that. So I just kind of been on my recycle stuff. So like I find all these like different things. I'm like, I'm gonna throw this up, and I'm like, but can't I recycle this? This feels like it's plastic. I have to be able to recycle this somewhere. So I've been on that kind of a tip.
Excellent. That's great. Okay, for me, really quick, really fast, in a hurry, because mine won't take that long. I'm really only geeking out about Marvel, because this is how I feel.
I'm sorry.
Shang-Chi, yes sir, yes ma'am. So like, do that. Like
that is so.
Let me get my thoughts together. Okay, so I had a conversation on TikTok with a gentleman who had posted something about, I don't know if he posted it, but somebody posted something about Storm, and I don't know why, like something about the post. It asked me, the post was like, why did Marvel sleep on Storm? And I was like, because she's black and she's a woman. But yes. I didn't say it like that. I basically said, like, there's no way you can let a black woman be the most powerful person in a group full of white people, especially when they're mostly white men. There's no way you're going to do that. Even the comics did. And they were like, well, that's not true, because... No. And this wasn't the poster, but because Marvel has plenty of black women in it. And they started to list off like Storm. They listed Storm, Monica Rambeau, and Zoe Saldana as Gamora. And I was like, well, Zoe Saldana's Latinx. And they were like, no, she's black. And I'm like, okay, let's give you that she's black, because I'm not, because I know that she identifies as black. But what I'm gonna say, right, 3. Let's ignore that. Let's talk about that part, Rakia. Gamora's a whole motherfucking alien that they painted green. She's not a black woman in the comics. In the comics, she's an alien. She's not a black woman. That gets me. So okay, but like some say, so okay, let's talk about that. The other thing about it was like the first but Storm, they continually shat on her. Literally, the whole post that we're talking about is how they shat on Storm and made her less powerful. So we can't include her. So let's talk about Monica Rambeau. One.
We just got her.
And we don't even know what they're going to do with her. But okay, so you give us one. So the thing about Shang-Chi I'm excited about is like, yes, because it's not just about having, and then they said that too. They said, okay, if you're going to complain about African-American women like being represented, what about the lack of Asian representation? And I'll say two things can be true at once. Two things can be true at once. There can be a lack of black representation and a lack of Asian representation at the same time. So the fact that you as an Asian, I forget what, I think he, you know, I'm not trying to be insulting. I just don't remember, but he is also a POC. I think he's Middle Eastern. You as another POC arguing with me about which one of us gets the most representation is the motherfucking problem. Yeah, we don't need to be arguing with each other. Right. We need to argue with these motherfuckers who ain't giving us a chance. Because the mentality is that only one of us gets representation while all of them get it. So I was just like very much like, so right now, like when Shang-Chi came out, I was happy, but I'm also like, it felt very Black Pantherist to me. So here's my issue that I had with Black Panther. I had an issue with Black Panther. This is my issue that I had with Black Panther.
Oh God.
Movie, amazing. Acting, amazing. Visually, stunning. Great fight scenes. However, it felt very much like, here you go, black people. Now shut the fuck up.
Okay, that's valid. Okay, yeah, okay.
It felt very much like that. And I feel like Shang-Chi is giving me that same energy for the Asian American community. And we don't deserve that. As Asian American people, they don't deserve that. Black people don't deserve it. We deserve to look at anything and everything and see ourselves everywhere. No, not we deserve like this whole we about to talk about this more, but Captain America and the Winter Soldier. I love the blackness in it, but there was no goddamn Asians. There was one. There was a guy who was like a super soldier.
Oh no, and the girl, but honestly, technically, what's his face he was in love with her. You know, he went on a date with her.
That's true. They were Asians.
Yeah,
I take it back. But my point is, like, there's so many cultures in the world.
Yeah,
that it's more than just black people and white people and an occasional third. So I'm just ready to like let's show let's let the world on film reflect the world that we see every day.
And also a lot of as you say that, because I totally am here for it, but like I was like, oh yeah, exactly. Like there's Muslims obviously, but I also don't want to see them playing the traditional roles that we love to put them in. The Muslims only as terrorists and things like that, and
exactly.
Like, no. I want to see just them being everyday characters, your regular everyday characters. That's what I want. I want because they are regular everyday.
And it's okay to have these characters like be the focus too. It is okay to have a movie 100%. Where the focus is a person of color, and it's like this. When the focus is a person of color, everyone else must be a person of color. There's no way a white person.
Thank you.
I know I'm saying this about, but here's my issue. We're going to talk about this more. But even in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yes, sir.
I didn't realize this until episode 5. And I have to go back and look at the other episodes. But I know for a fact in episode 5, guess who got top billing? Sebastian Stan.
Bucky got top billing,
and that
it wasn't until the end credit on the finale that finally
it pissed me off because this is why the show is literally called Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
And Falcon gets more screen time. Falcon has more lines.
It's about Falcon. The whole show is about him.
It's about him turning into the new Captain America.
The focal point of the entire show is Sam, yet still Sebastian Stan got top billing. And then when they made him top billing, it was almost as to say, it's like, there you go, black people. And I feel like sometimes people don't get that they do that shit. It's like,
don't.
You should have just given him top billing from the beginning.
Right.
But you know what?
Like,
can we address this comment down here, though?
Damn, they giving us diversity, but it's not enough. It has to start somewhere. Let's get out there and support these diverse films.
We do support these films, though.
Who wants to go first?
Okay, because when we watch Black Panther,
wait. After we respond to this question, we're gonna go to the review. We're gonna go to the main topic, but I'm gonna let Rakia go. Who wants to respond to the comment?
Let's let Ricky. She brought it up.
No, I want to respond to it too. I'm saying who else wants to respond?
Oh.
Okay, so Ricky and then we're going to go to the main topic.
Okay, so we do support these films, but just because they give us these things does not mean that they are above reproach or they do not get to have criticism, because they can. There are some criticisms with Black Panther, and that's okay. It's still we still love the film. We're still allowed to criticize it. We are still allowed to poke holes in their efforts.
Yes.
And you know what? Intentions, whatever, cool. But that does not mean that we're still going in the right direction, that where we need to go. So yeah, they gifted us this. But you're still gonna catch these words, okay? You're still gonna get some criticism. You're still going to get some, at least constructive criticism. I'm not going to completely dog you out, but you're going to still get some criticism because there's shit that's not okay.
So let me give you an analogy, Lance. I'm married to a woman, and every day she tells me, fuck both of you two, Chris and Julian, because I saw those motherfucking faces. Look, my sexuality is very fluid. I like what I like, and when I like it, I don't need faces.
I know.
I'm so sorry. Or as masculine. Don't do that.
I'm writing it down right now. Married to a woman. Married to a woman.
But it can't just be that. We're beyond the point.
Okay.
We're beyond that point.
Let me say, Lance,
beyond that point.
Let's say, for instance, I'm married to a woman.
I have a perfect example.
Hold on. So say, for instance, I'm married to a woman, and every day she tells me that she's mad that I don't help her clean the kitchen. She cleans the kitchen herself every day. And every day she tells me that she's not happy that I don't help. Finally, after 10 years of marriage, I help her clean the kitchen. Actually, I don't help her clean the kitchen. I clean the kitchen. but I don't sweep the floor. I don't start the dishwasher. I don't put away the food. All I did was wipe down the counters and the table.
So did you really do it?
So my point is, so should she say, well, since he did that, he cleaned the kitchen, and not tell me, hey, thank you for your effort, but you didn't clean the kitchen. It's not clean. So this is what you need to do next time. So it's like the same idea of like, they're giving us diversity. Isn't that enough? Let's be quiet. Well, why? They didn't clean the kitchen. They only wiped down the counters and the table.
It happened.
We want them to clean the kitchen. And it's like, once you start cleaning the kitchen the way I clean the kitchen, then we don't have to have this conversation no more because you're going to know what's up. So when it comes to this film stuff, yes, put it on the Elder Scroll. But when it comes to the film stuff, please, absolutely give us these films. But if these films are just as problematic as not having the film, then we're not actually moving toward any solution.
So funny thing is, me and Duria actually watched the finale together, and he brought this up to me, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe you're just a little mad, but and I realized it was in the end after they tried to redeem Wyatt, for saving trying to save the truck.
Okay, wait. Don't go ahead. Hold your thought, Andre. We're gonna do a short commercial ad, and then we're gonna come back to it again because we're drifting into the topic. We're gonna do a really, really short ad break, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna finally go into our review of the show.
We are here today on site at one of our projects. I'm a developer and entrepreneur in real estate, and what excites me most is seeing the properties come from the ground up. You know, in development, you have to grade the ground first, you have to pour the footers, and make sure that you're building on the solid foundation. That is very important because you want to make sure that your structure can be supported by the foundation that you're laying. That's the same thing that happens in life. You want to make sure that you're starting with a solid foundation in education. That's why we host our educational services, to make sure that you are going in the right direction to learn, to build, and so that you can grow too your real estate portfolio. All of these things and more, we provide resources at itsjessicamyers.com.
That was itsjessicamyers.com. Go to itsjessicamyers.com. Itsjessicamyers.com. She will help you, and her team will help you with getting your start in real estate investment, finding properties, enhancing your portfolios, and all those things that you want to do. Real estate investment and the like is great because it puts you in the driver's seat to where you become a captain of your time and your money instead of working for someone else. So hit her up and hit up her team, and they're going to hook you up. Okay. Now we're going to finally get into the review for Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Like we had to because the conversation just naturally led that the universe was saying we're on time to talk about it. So back to Dondre. Let's talk about it. Okay. Actually, no, not yet. Write what you had. Hold your hand. I'm going to ask a group question. Short answer. Approve or disapprove of the series as a whole? Rakia.
Wait, so is that simply yes or no?
Yes. Approve or disapprove. That's all you say. Approve or disapprove. Ricky. No answer. Just approve or disapprove.
Approve.
Approve. Chris.
Approve.
Julian.
Approve.
Dondre.
Hate you.
You approve. Just say it.
I want to approve. I do.
Approve. Let us know in the audience what you think. If you're watching, type in the comments right now. Did you approve or disapprove of the series as a whole? Y'all can explain. They don't get to explain, but y'all can explain. I approve as well. The reason I started with that question is because we want to preface it by saying we approve of the show. But now we're about to dig into that ass. But now we're going to dig into that ass. Now we're going to dig into that. Okay, Dondre, go ahead and say what you were trying to say.
Well, so yeah, we're watching the finale. And what it was we noticed at times, I think here's the major one. In the finale, after they redeemed Mr. John Walker, after Falcon saves the truck because John failed, by the way, just so you know.
Yeah.
They cut to a frame of a crowd of people in New York City, one of the most multicultural areas in this damn world. And everybody on that frame that's cheering for Falcon or Captain America saving the truck is black. Every single character.
Really?
There. Every single character in that frame.
Right. No, you're right.
Oh, so you went back and studied it.
No, you're right. No, you're right.
Every character in that frame is black.
And that's the problem.
I think
that's not what the world looks like.
In no way in New York City.
Not even in New York.
Right. Subliminally, the message that sends. No, they were in New York at the end.
Okay.
They were in New York. Subliminally, the message that sends is that black people only are allowed to support black people. And it furthers segregation. It furthers disparity. It furthers division. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so we're congratulating Marvel for wiping down the counter and wiping down the table. But next time, clean the kitchen. Clean the whole kitchen.
They cleaned the counter, but then they made nachos on the counter right after.
Right, like clean the kitchen.
Salt on it.
That's actually how I felt about the finale. It was watching the whole thing was bittersweet for me because I was like, okay, y'all definitely like I agreed, Andre. Like y'all cleaned the kitchen and then cooked, and then left the shit.
And then left in the sink.
But the argument's gonna be like, well, I cleaned the kitchen. Yeah, but you didn't leave it clean. Like it's still dirty. Like so, it's like so many of that, like so much of that series was problematic for me. So at the beginning, like first episode, I was like, okay, great, it's just Sam. Then at the very end, when they did that whole like, okay, we're gonna give Captain America to this dude, I was like, as me, I immediately was like, oh, of course they're gonna give this to a white man. But that was just me. I didn't realize that that was gonna be the story of the whole season.
Right.
Then that became the story of the whole season. Like how. And I get it. It's like, okay, yes, I really appreciate. I do appreciate. And this is the thing that's difficult. And I would say it this because I kind of hear what Lance is saying.
I do.
When you're talking about art, and some art is going to reflect life. I don't think, and I'm gonna say this might be controversial. I don't think we need that in sci-fi and supernatural genres.
Nope.
This is why I'm saying that. That's a place, especially being a sci-fi supernatural geek, that most of us go to escape. We see that in the news, real life, social media, plenty. We see it in dramas. We see it in comedies. Can we just fly and shoot guns that have laser beams and have telekinesis?
But you don't
please. Can I just have
people to have a message?
Can I just have some mechanical wings? Wait. Can I just have some mechanical wings, please? And a shield, and then not be about the fact that white people don't hate me too. Like, can I get away from this? It
wasn't even that.
The problem with that,
they also spent a whole episode talking about the struggles of black people. I'm sorry, I'm really sorry here, but they had a whole episode where, like when Sam went to go help his sister with the loan, and was like, the sister is going on about how the black people in poverty in this neighborhood are not getting fully supported by the government and financial system. And I was like, I mean, that's a great message, but why is this now the tale of a superhero film?
Because I'm like, why can't you just put this black man, like when Captain America became Captain America, it wasn't about him being. It's not like, oh, we need to put a white man in the suit. White. No, he just became Captain America.
He just took his steroids and saved the world.
Period. And now that we're gonna put a black man in this position, we have to also let's talk about race.
Let's talk about his struggles.
Why can't it just be that he was? And somebody on the internet, I'm going to you right after this, Rakia. Somebody on the internet today basically was saying, I know, because she been so patient. Somebody on the internet today basically was like, I get why they made Sam the Captain America because of all of the riots that are happening in the country. And as much as I wanted to read him, he's right. Yeah. Like, but the end of this person's comment was like, I get why they made Captain America because all the riots in the country. However, Bucky would have made a better Captain America. And I was just like, what are you? You're not even Bucky knew. Like, in the comics, Bucky does eventually become Captain America, but because he becomes it. Bucky's not at that place to be like what Captain America needs. And even the person that they picked to be Captain America wasn't there. He just picked him because he checked off all the boxes. Sam didn't check off all the boxes. And I just feel like, anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Rakia.
So my own concern with what you were saying, Julia, and with Lance is saying is, so we have these stories, especially in sci-fi and fantasy. We got to remember what lens these stories are coming from. The lens that they're coming from, the perspective that a majority of these stories that we see are coming from. Because I promise you, I'm sure the good chunk of the people in the writer's room for Falcon and Winter Soldier were what?
Mm-hmm. That's what I felt. Yep.
And the majority of the writers and people that we see in the writers' room for Star Wars or any of the Marvel movies, any sci-fi, supernatural, superhero, anything that we've watched, seen, love, we know what the majority of those writers' rooms look like. And so we are constantly getting it from those lenses. And so even if with well intentions they add some diversity to their stories, we're still getting it from their lens. We don't get the, yes, this is a person that just happens to be black.
Right.
No, this character is black, and here are all these black things that we know happen to black people or the black stories that we are familiar with. Therefore, we're going to throw it on this character right now. Because that's what we know, and that's what we think you expect of these black characters. So we have to keep that in mind while we're thinking of, like, the diversity and the stories that we're getting. And I get that, like, we want to be able to escape, but
it's not just that.
But I'm saying that, like, it's hard to fully escape. It's very hard to fully escape when you still have those biases in your writing.
I push back this way. If you really take a good look at black cinema and black characters in cinema, we cannot escape the certain things. Like, okay, we're gonna get a teeny bit serious. We're not gonna stay on there long.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm in these political groups for TalkItOut, and they always tell black people how black people are stuck in a victim mentality. When the truth is, a lot of the black people just will point something out. We'll just point it out because we see it. We're not victimized, because the sad thing about it is growing up black is growing up being told these things. Hey, you notice this, you notice that. Yeah. So we're used to pointing it out and then moving the fuck on. Yeah. So when we point it out and some people say that's you stuck in a victim mentality, the truth is it feels like white people sometimes want us to stay stuck in that victim mentality. And it's reflected in the fact that you had Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, all three, motherfucking the Hulk. You had motherfucking all these things that came out. None of them talked about race or racial issues in depth, as if racial issues were only a black problem. Mm-hmm. That's my thing about it. If you're going to talk about racial issues, talk about it everywhere, because racial issues is a two-way street. White people are mostly complicit. So if you're only going to talk about racial issues when people of color are at the forefront, you're saying something. Because at the end of the day, what you're expressing is that white people don't think about racial issues. Only people of color do. Yes. Which is a privilege.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because y'all don't have to. So it just sends a really dirty message to finally give this amazing actor, this really sweet character who's funny, badass, finally give him a moment, but the moment has to be forged through that type of narrative, as if that's the only narrative he has. Why not make Captain America, who actually was raised in the fucking 40s, a story about racism? Mm-hmm. That would have been more true, because back then racism was more prevalent. Let's show him putting through the mud of racism and dealing with racism and dealing with his own racism. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about him as a white privileged man, even though he was a skinny ass and he got his ass raped. But anyway, they still could have found ways to put that storyline in his story, but instead they waited until it was Sam's turn and then said, now let's talk about race, since there's a black person in front of it. Right. So once again, like, I'm not mad that they wiped down the counters in the table. I'm happy that they wiped down the counters in the table. I'm glad that Sam's Captain America. I'm glad that Sam was the focal point of this series. I'm just mad they didn't wash the dishes. They didn't put the food in the Tupperware. They didn't sweep. They didn't mop. They didn't wipe down the window. The sink got spots on it.
Disgusting mess.
And the fridge is a mess.
I don't even want to know.
The fridge is a
I know
mess.
that fridge is disgusting.
So that's just where my head is about it. Dondre?
Y'all metaphors crazy, first of all. Secondly,
metaphors be all over the place.
Secondly, I can't believe Chris is outside smoking. It is so hilarious.
Really? That's Chris.
Why?
And about this time,
I don't
every
like it,
episode,
yeah.
Chris goes outside and gets smoked.
That's lovely. I'm happy that StreamYard actually works on your phone. Second, now my actual point.
This is my computer, boy.
That is another thing.
You have your computer in your hat.
Yes.
Oh, it's a laptop, probably.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm traveling with my entire tower.
He sounded so surprised by the fact that you could travel with your computer.
No. I mean, the fact that his bandwidth has the power to actually reach his porch and go further.
Got you.
Yeah, I hear you.
So no, what I'm
Well,
saying.
you need to get a Mac, is what I'm saying.
Oh no, it's not the Mac girl.
Chris, whatever you're doing, wherever you are, it's making it to where you're coming in really, really choppy and digitized. Just so you know.
Oh, and that's so
you might need to hurry up and go back in the
Limit break real quick.
Outside and not inside, closer to your router where it should be.
The way he threw that
problem
cigarette.
that we were just talking about. In fact.
So my point on that is like when I watch, I'm gonna start slow and I'm gonna go hard. When I watch Luke Cage, it wasn't on that, but then it became that. This big spectacle about the struggles of black people. It became like, I'm cleaning up Harlem because black people are this issue in the community. Then when I watched Black Lightning, the entire series, every 5 minutes was something to do with the struggles of black people, Black Lives Matter, etc., etc., etc. It never stopped. And to me, it became, I'm not watching Black Lightning, I'm watching their version of saying, so they know there's a problem. And they're trying to make us feel better by using us for our views for it. So like Rakia said specifically, Black Lightning felt entirely, like I don't have to even look up the information. That entire writing room is white. They think that they're impressioning what they believe is the black experience. Like it didn't seem like there was a moment of actual true black joy, moments where we could celebrate, moments where we could live. It was just straight up, we live in a community of black people and we are struggling. Like that was it, period. The government will use us as test subjects. Like that was it for Black Lightning. And that fucking sucked to watch, honestly.
Too on the nose.
It's at the course of everything. It's at the core of everything we do.
It's too on the nose.
Even with Black Panther, they did it simply. We talked about this before. Like I got really frustrated by that last scene of them in the hood, and it's like, okay, like I get it, but that's not like you don't have to be an activist through every black form of art.
It wasn't just the last scene in Black Panther. It was Killmonger too.
Killmonger's
on terms.
So to me, it's like this: when you look at a series of things, it's like black people experience oppression. We experience racism systemically. We experience these things. We also experience joy, sorrow, freedom, love, lust, complicated marriages. We experience so much other shit that every time a white voice decides to give us a voice, it is through the lens of oppression. And they feel like we should then say thank you.
Exactly.
But it's like, you're just, without even knowing it, you're adding to the problem. But you're doing it, and then you're giving these other, these I don't want to say worse, but these overt, they're not even overt, they're overtly covert racist ammunition to say, well, at least you got Black Panther. Well, at least you got Sam. Like, and that's what it becomes. It literally just becomes a bullet for them to then shoot at us and say, why are you complaining? You have this. It's like you have the entire, you have the entire MCU.
Right,
you got a movie.
But
Asian Americans are just now. Let's be clear. Asian Americans are just now getting Shang-Chi. Otherwise, you can say that Colleen Wing, which Lance brought up in Iron Fist. You got her, but that's not enough. And then you have to consider this: at the Oscars this year, I was so blown away when I found this out. Stephen Yeun, I hope I'm saying that right. Stephen Yeun was Yoon. Thank you. Stephen Yeun was the first Asian American actor to be nominated, not win,
nominated
for Best Supporting Actor in 2021. No, I'm sorry, Best Actor in 2021.
That's how
it's 2021, and he's the first. Right. So, in addition to being, that's what I'm saying. So let's talk about diversity. Let's talk about that stuff. Anyway, so. All right,
but,
so
yes, one more thing. So, but yes, we have Black Panther. Cool. We have Sam as Captain America, but you have your Captain America. You have Steve Rogers. You have Iron Man. You have Thor. You have the Hulk, and then you have all the side characters too, like Hawk, and you have Black Widow, and you have Doctor Strange, Hawkeye. Sorry, Hawkeye. You got all the things.
You do have a lot.
You got a lot. You got a lot.
You have Doctor Strange,
and now you have a black man taking the mantle, and it's like a black man could be Captain America too. I'm like, no. Why could he not be it in the first place?
Right.
Eugenius. I agree, and I know it sounds like I should agree 100%. I push back a little. The only reason I push back a little in saying this, so anyone who's listening, Eugenius just said in the comments, I feel like they should be explored in sci-fi and fantasy. I'm assuming they means like racial issues, that kind of stuff. Yes. But then they say, but I feel like they shouldn't be so on the nose about current topics. I don't have a problem touching on topics like these in sci-fi and super. I have a problem when a black person or a person of color is centralized and that becomes the majority
the plot
of the plot. If it was something that we touched on all of the time, because how many things were made before Captain America and the Winter Soldier where they could have talked about race?
Even worse, I'm thinking about the Defenders. Matt Murdock didn't bring it up. Danny Rand didn't bring it up. Jessica Jones didn't bring it up. Now all of a sudden, it's like this big issue.
So that's my thing. I don't actually have a problem. If you're going to talk about race, that's fine. But make that a through line through your whole motherfucking series. Don't only put it in this thing.
Don't make it a Saturday morning special, okay?
Yeah,
exactly.
That's the thing. Don't make it a Saturday morning special.
Black issues ain't a special guest. It isn't like for you to get your accolade and feel comfortable because you actually
once every couple of seasons where you drop that I dealt with racism.
Can I, however,
I have black friends. I'm not racist. Like,
okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna let Julia speak, and then we're gonna talk about the rest of the series.
Actual show.
Talk about the show. Sorry, guys.
Well, first of all, I'm about to come under fire for like a hot second, because not really, and then yes. For half a devil's advocate, I'm going to say this, that
not half. You gotta be the whole devil's advocate.
No. I'm only a half, because
Devil don't like half.
I barely agree with it.
6.5.
It's just more of this. I will say that Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it is going to be and is popular amongst a demographic that needs to hear what they heard at the end of this, and that's the most that I'll say about that.
Okay, so Lance,
is that they could have that was a message that they. I know that it's like, we keep talking about how it's like always about the back struggle and things like that, but this will reach an audience that needs to kind of hear it. They're gonna see it. They're gonna see it in a well established, like, very.
Not according to TikTok.
Not according to
Lance. I want to say something to Lance.
I don't want to.
That's actually incorrect, Lance. Was he
Isaiah
the first?
Isaiah was no. Because Steve was on the ice.
I'm sorry, Steve Rogers was the first and only Captain America.
Right, Steve was on ice when Isaiah came out.
But the first,
and Isaiah was never given the mantle.
No, right.
Of Captain America.
Right.
That was the point.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was just the only super soldier that survived, but he was never given the privilege of being Captain America, which was literally the point they were making.
Yes.
So I just want to clear that up for anybody. So let's talk about the show. So I want to talk about something, for instance. The last episode had me like, all the issues we just talked about. I'm glad we talked about that first. Now we can just talk about the series.
Okay.
Thank you.
I really fell in love with Sebastian motherfucking Savage.
You own him just like him?
Fine.
Oh.
The part that made me fall in love with him was when he looked at the sister and goes, Hey, I'm Bucky. I was like, oh, really? And then she said, I'm Sarah. I was like,
During I feel you from the moment I'm sorry, when he first showed up as Winter Soldier, I was a little
Really? He didn't do it for me as like the long hair version of him.
I love him with the long hair.
No, that didn't do it for me.
No, because it was like greasy and stringy.
Yeah.
So when he got the Wakandan blowout, sure, a little bit.
That
he was rugged, as in he hasn't washed it for 7 days.
Blowout, I gotta go.
No, thank you. Disgusting.
Wakanda blowout. I think that, like, you know, for me, I was really into, like, I don't know, he had a swag about, you know. So, but in addition to that, like, I really enjoyed the friendship that existed between the two.
Yeah.
That was really sweet.
They didn't have it before, but they realized they were both putting up walls, in my opinion. Like, it was more a boundary they created for each other, but they were really best friends without even knowing it. And that developed.
Okay, so let me say this thing about it that I really agreed with was, like, to me, seeing their friendship be what it was kind of like a kick in the face to toxic masculinity.
Yes. And that was the best thing about it. It was very like, this is what masculinity should look like, and your toxic masculinity is falling short.
I just like the fact that, you know, you have two men who clearly can fuck you the fuck up, and then you have a character like what's the blonde man's name?
John Walker.
John Walker, right? The epitome of motherfucking toxic masculinity.
The epitome. Cis white male. Yes,
blonde hair, blue motherfucking eyes.
But when he had the helmet on, why did he look like the old man from Up?
He looked ugly. I just want to punch him.
I know. His helmet actually.
No, the actor did his job. That's what it was.
He did. No.
The actor did his motherfucking job.
It's weird though. It's weird though because he's got tell
it's right about here.
He looks like his dad.
Son.
Yeah, he looks like his dad.
Kurt Russell's son, and he got
banded.
But it don't sit on him like it sit on Kurt Russell.
No, it don't.
It sits on him a little different. Is he an attractive person? Sure, but when you're only highlighting
Lego head,
he looked like the old man from Up. He did in his helmet.
He really did.
Y'all, like the first time.
Chris?
Am I?
No, that's just you, Durier. He seems real comfortable to me.
Okay, so if it's just me, keep going. I don't know why your camera is very digital to me.
It might be just you, sir.
Oh.
Well, tell me why the very first time I saw Captain America, like that Captain America, John Walker, it almost looked like, oh God, what was his name that we went to school with? Oh, freak! I can't even remember his name now.
So y'all heard all of that perfectly?
Yes.
Okay, it's just me then. What? That's so weird that your camera's messing up and nobody else's is. Now Rakia's is too.
Oh,
Rakia's is.
No, that is for me too.
That is
okay. So Rakia's messed up for everybody, but not Chris. The internet guys are messing with us right now.
It was Chase. It looked like Chase for just a second, in that mask, in the helmet.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait, who are you talking about? Oh, John Walker.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, he was so annoying from the second he stepped onto the spot and started opening his mouth and saying the things that he wanted to say. I was like,
I will say, Wyatt Russell in real life, you deserve a Grammy, but
not a Grammy
the show
because
Grammy sorry,
albums, music.
I don't
musicians.
be thinking.
It's
okay. Sorry. But in that show, I can't stand that motherfucker.
Oh yeah,
the character he
I
played,
really hate that they tried to redeem him.
I hated him. He should not have got redeemed. He's supposed to be an unhinged, broken-minded man who literally goes off the rails because of the serum taking effect in his brain.
But of course he's not going to.
So when he's picked up,
I don't feel like he was redeemed.
But it still might happen later.
No, he tries to.
You feel like he was redeemed? Wait.
For me, he wasn't. No. For me, he wasn't redeemed. For me, he wasn't.
Let Rakia talk. Justin, Julian, and John Drake. Go ahead, Rakia. Go ahead.
For me, he wasn't redeemed. I was still like, fuck that dude the entire time. But like, for me personally, like I did not feel like he was redeemed, and I'm telling you, I guess, but like, I'm still mad at the fact that he decided to come in to the fight with his little aluminum foil shield.
I was like,
who are you? And why?
How dare
The
you?
shield is
nickel.
vibranium, right?
How dare
you know what that means?
No. Okay, so that part right there is what kept messing me up. How are you in the military, and the U.S. government makes you become Captain America, but you don't know who the Dora Milaje is or what the Dora Milaje has?
That's very white, though.
But
that is very white.
No, but
that's very that's accurate.
And then you thought once you lost the shield that you can go to some scrap metal and put that shit together like it's gonna do anything like the actual shield. Like I don't understand. Like
when he was done fighting Carly and that shit was bent up.
Right.
That game, I was crying.
No, I was legit like, who? Because I was like, what?
Did you expect?
But like that was like the ending credit for the 5th episode. I'm like, is he really
ending
doing this?
credit, and he was like forging. Boom,
boom. Some tink on some tape metal.
That was one of the most unnecessary scenes in a movie ever, never.
Right.
He could have just honestly. This is why, like, okay. Usually the post-credit scene makes you go, "Oh my god!" Right?
I can't wait for the next episode.
That post-credit scene made me go, "Like, is this nigga stupid?
That's exactly what I thought.
Right.
I was like, "This dude
that's gonna do
some real dumb."
We're gonna take an aluminum shield into a fight with super soldiers.
Nickel,
what?
iron.
Right.
What are you doing right now?
Some cubic zirconium mess, and you
yes!
and you think you gonna fight with up against some vibranium?
He brought the Swarovski crystals to the fight. Like
he got it for 25 cents out of the gas station.
Some costume jewelry. He brought him some costume jewelry to the show.
He said, "Dollar Tree, let's go."
I did enjoy seeing Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yes, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and she's already won 2 damn many Emmys. But like, she's
I don't think I
so
like her
good.
character.
Oh no, of course not.
But I like that she was present.
Yeah,
she's always. I don't care who she could read the phone book. She's amazing.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm
from Seinfeld, right?
She was Valentina. Yeah, Valentina. Is that her name?
No, because like
I do love her.
She's gonna be a power player in the Phase 4.
Yeah, and then,
clearly.
Exactly. Yeah.
So like she has had maybe like 5 minutes altogether of screen time in that, and I feel like she's gonna pop up now.
Yeah, and as soon as they showed
I'm ready for that.
Like, she's going to be someone important. She has to.
Not to mention, they're doing some like left wing shit with the power broker.
Right.
Yeah,
Sharon.
Sharon. Really fast. We were talking about like teen dramas or whatever, right? We were talking about teen dramas.
Yes.
Yeah. I was just thinking as I was watching Winter Soldier, I was like, Sharon, revenge, duh.
Revenge!
No,
Emily!
Wait.
Emily!
I am literally binging it right now.
No,
oh my god.
About it. I was like,
oh my god. It was so good.
I'm sorry.
It was so good.
We're too loud. Sorry.
Are we too loud?
No, it's me. I'm livid.
No, he's too loud. He's not too loud.
So my co-teacher and I have been watching it together. So we talk to each other. We text each other all the time. We talk about it at work, in the class, and like we're yelling over our students talking about Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yes.
But you know, she was like, that blonde one. She seems evil, and I'm thinking. I was like, no.
She was definitely being a little like.
I was like, no, like that's Peggy Carter's niece. No,
I know, and then you find
Shield, and no, and she's like,
no,
she looks evil.
Like, it was so funny because I was watching it with Duryea on the finale, and he didn't see it coming.
I
was watching it with Lance, and he didn't see it coming either. But I noticed specifically on episode 6 when they call her, and she's back in Madripoor doing her own thing, and she's like. Filing, like she looks maniacal in that scene.
Yeah,
she looks like she is literally putting out orders and like setting up a whole criminal enterprise. So I was ready for it. I was like, "Who is she really?"
So there's a theory that Sharon has been the power broker since like the
beginning.
The Captain America and the Winter Soldier movie.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised.
There's a theory that she's been the power broker since that movie. I gotta find out.
I didn't see that Reddit thread.
I'm not opposed to that ideology. I just think,
but I hope so,
that Marvel will pull some shit like that out. They will do some shit like that in a heartbeat. Marvel will absolutely make it to where that is how it is.
I hope so. I hope so. I love a good twist, and a twist like that, because you got me up until the 4th episode of Winter Soldier. Like, bitch, Sharon's been around for how long? Like, come on.
She's been around, and then all of a sudden,
we're all like surprised and flabbergasted. Like, bitch, oh, she is evil.
Oh my god, the power broker. Wait.
Yeah, you know what? It's because like I mean, some people might not get it, but she's the legacy of Peggy Carter for one.
Right.
And then two, she worked for the government. She worked for S.H.I.E.L.D. So we're expecting her to have, like, the morality to not do crazy shit. We are expecting that, admittedly.
But let's be clear, like, her being the power broker, okay, has she murdered anybody?
Well, the other thing is also this, because she's a power broker, but another thing is...
But I mean, like, what is
she will send Batroc the Leaper to go murder somebody, though.
What I'm asking is like, what has she actually done? Other than passing weight.
All the shots.
We don't know that because Carly was calling the shots.
No.
She was just handing out the
Carly was
remember,
muscle before Carly was
before. She's the one I'm pretty sure they didn't say it. But I am
That's what I'm saying. All I'm saying is at this point we don't know what Sharon was actually
I'm assuming Sharon Carter is the one who got a hold of the super serum and gave it out to them.
That's the theory.
But that's not a crime.
100% because Carly even said it. She said it in the last episode that you just want me to come back to be your muscle again. Like she, well, okay, maybe not. Maybe that is a little ambiguous.
But, okay, let's go back.
It still very much leads to the point that Sharon kind of made them.
Because I feel like this. You want me to come back to be your muscle again? That doesn't insinuate or implicate murder or anything illegal. Everybody has muscle. Like the Hulk is the Avengers muscle.
Kingpin is going to implement.
Let's be clear though, but like it's about perspective. My point is this: we don't know what Sharon has done that makes her a villain. We just know that she has her own series.
If she's playing Kingpin, she is at least an asset. Like,
okay, let me ask you a question. Let me ask the whole group a question. So you just said Kingpin.
I'm literally thinking Kingpin from Daredevil now.
So then. The word Kingpin has a negative connotation. You know who else is a Kingpin but doesn't get that name? Iron Man. Iron Man's the fucking Kingpin.
Yeah.
But no,
Iron Man just does. Listen,
I'm gonna go to your money, American law system.
The technology. He has muscle, a whole team. He goes on missions. Other than him agreeing with the Sokovia Accords, but up until then. He was a fucking kingpin. He wasn't a criminal one, but he was a kingpin. And so to me, like saying Sharon Carter is a kingpin in a negative way when we don't know that she's done anything murderous, treacherous, or anything like that. All we know is that she was passing out the serum. Is that fair?
It is fair. We know that she told Batroc the Leaper to go kidnap this guy and interrogate him and beat the shit out of him.
Has the Avengers never done that?
They didn't beat the shit out and interrogate.
I'm pretty sure there's 2 Avengers who've absolutely 3.
Black
Widow.
Let me get my brain.
Okay, during the blip. Let's not forget what Hawkeye. I'm sorry. Let's not forget.
I was so happy to see Ronan. First of all,
I'm just saying, but let's not forget during the blip what Hawkeye was doing. He was straight up murdering people, cutting heads and throats, and he was doing all that. So I feel like this. When it comes down to it, we can't pass the blame. And I think there's a lot of that in the Marvel universe. We're gonna look at Sharon Carter and go, because she's not aligned with the interest of the Avengers, she's a villain. When the truth of it is, she's just not aligned with everything they stand for. But I don't think
she's trying to hold power. And I don't think she's
I don't think she's a terrorist. I don't think she's out there trying to
hurt. No. So that's where the flag smashers came, because they said, we're not just gonna use the serum you gave us and destroy and do whatever you want. We're not security guards. We actually have a purpose, and they ended up doing their own thing. So they created their own
that's my point. So Sharon is not a villain.
But I'm saying Sharon is a villain because she's calling shots that are not morally chosen.
How?
If she's saying go steal this, if she's saying Batroc, go steal this painting for me so I can sell it to Osama bin Laden.
We glorify these characters and these men who use money and power to do whatever they want to do. And now that she's doing it, she's a villain. She's not trying to destroy the universe, take over the world, kill people.
It's because she's a woman.
She's stealing art and dealing it
Yes, it
across
is.
the. She's stealing art
Yes, it
pieces.
is.
Like she'll steal Starry Night Sky and then sell it to somebody in Dubai.
And that makes her a villain in a world where a nigga
It's
snaps his
robbery.
fingers. Look. Let's be clear.
Crime.
Let's be clear. We're talking about a world where people snap their fingers and erase half the
One
entire
person did it because
existence.
they finally got
And
the
yet,
stones
this woman stealing art is a problem.
A son of the Eternals
And
stole
not
the
necessarily
stones and
stole
did
art.
that.
I think what they're doing is that they
We
are
live on
setting
Earth and we have to
us-
live in the reality. I'm gonna bring up the show Power because in America they have the Kingpin statue. You don't have to do shit yourself, but if you are simply being the
I guess
the mastermind
is Chris
behind
frozen too? No, Chris is not.
Nobody's frozen on my screen.
Okay. It's just them two though. It's not the rest of y'all. It's just them two.
We're just still.
So yeah, if you are the mastermind behind a long line of accomplices, you can still be tried for being the purpose behind the entire, like any crime, anything. That is the Kingpin statute. That you have made the orders,
But
you have
here's the
put
thing.
people under duress, you have chosen. So, like the fact
You
that
did it
Batroc the
yourself,
Leaper was
yeah.
scared of the power broker before, and
But
then
what
he was
you're
like,
not
"So you're the
getting-
power broker. I'm going to sell your identity."
Okay,
But
I
that's
get
like
what you're
Carly.
saying.
That's
You
Carly,
understand
though.
what I'm
But
saying, Dondre.
But Carly would be considered
Until
a
like
terrorist.
the whole reason that the Maximoff twins were anti-Captain Iron Man was because they thought he was a villain because what he did for years
Was sell weapons, right?
and kill people. So by the same logic you're talking about, Iron Man is a villain.
Yes, and some people.
By the same
some
logic
people
you're
do.
talking
You know
about,
what?
because you're saying
And some
in the
people do
linear,
that.
I do
because
follow
he
you.
was making the weapons and he's
Follow you
responsible
because
for
I'm
more
looking at
death
it through a different
than-
lens.
He's responsible for more death than any Avenger.
Because
Any
he's just
Avenger.
being a businessman.
He's,
but yes,
no.
he is
But
their
so is
supplier.
she. But so is she.
But
She's
isn't
being a
that-
businesswoman.
But wasn't that the
but the
point
difference
of
is-
showing
the difference is-
Viola Davis even coming out and talking
Problem
to
is,
Iron
Tony
Man
Stark
and
is
showing-
continuing
Wait, hold on.
Howard Stark's business, simply selling to the same people
You're
that have been
literally
buying
just
forever.
disproving your own point. What
No,
you said,
because
just a few
Carly
seconds ago, Dondre,
Carly
was
got
it doesn't
banned out
matter
of
what. No,
America
you said
because
you
she
said it
was
doesn't
being-
matter what part of the lineage you come in. If you're part of a lineage that is doing these things, you're just as complicit.
When did I say lineage? I never used that word.
Okay, but you said something.
Hey, it's
so
okay.
I
This is recorded,
You
so
said
I know I'm not
basically
lying.
whatever it was, you
it's
implied
a dual-
that if you're a part of a line of people doing things and you're involved in that, you're complicit. So just because I'm taking on my daddy's business doesn't mean that I'm not
I'm going to
complicit.
talk real world. There is a girl in the show, the reality show Bling Empire. Her entire family, her name's Anna, and she literally her family was, she got $1 billion off of the whole estate because her family sold weapons. She sold weapons to people and then completely sold off that business to become the billionaire she is today. But she is not
That's not
involved in
good.
that because
That's not okay. The difference is because you don't get put like the whole point of the revolution that you're seeing worldwide right now is
sold it
that
off
we
to
allow
do that.
certain crimes to happen when they're
Exactly.
perpetrated by rich people that we would not let other people do.
But
So
I
at the
mean,
end
you
of the
could,
day,
you
wait,
could
hold
talk
on,
about that like
Dondre,
the
hold
U.S.
on,
Army
Dondre.
in the Middle East, though.
Hold on, Dondre. Yes, which is why people in the Middle East look at the U.S. as villains. So my point is saying, if you're going to say that Sharon Carter's a villain, you also need to say that so is Tony Stark. Because all Sharon Carter that we've seen, I'm not saying there could be other stuff that they reveal later, but all that we've seen is that she used the serum to get these super soldiers and build herself an empire.
Lance just put
So
up the
wait,
perfect
if
comment.
you're talking
Wait,
about
wait.
if you're talking about laws that were put in place, people breaking laws.
No, but
let's be clear.
Lance
Let's
just
be
said
clear.
something.
Wait,
Hold
hold on, Dondre. Vigilantism is illegal.
It is.
It's illegal. Every Avenger is a criminal just because they're vigilantes. So my point is like it depends on how you want to spin it. If you want to, the point is like we're trying to say that these rich white men who are doing this thing is fine, but Sharon Carter does it. She's a villain. And I'm like, they're literally doing the same things, which is why I go back to what Lance said when Lance said
Home
I think it
Depot
was
sells
Lance.
axes?
No, Lance said something about it's about perspective. People who are terrorists to us are heroes to others.
Yes, I can admit that because I will say there's a video game coming out soon about.
Chris is frozen, Lance. That's why he's got that face.
There's
No,
a
I'm
video
not!
game. There's a video game coming out about. I don't remember what it's
Very
called.
still.
Both of y'all are frozen to me.
I remember the video game is called, but the video game is literally about you're gonna play live action about a whole like U.S. Army mission in the Middle East. And I'm like, I mean, they're saving lives for them. They're like doing their thing, but they are literally terrorizing a new nation. So I get that. But like now, another comment Lance brought up, if you could just go back to that one. People at the Home Depot sell axes. So if the people who buy axes kill their family, is the Home Depot the problem?
Can I respond to that?
Okay,
no, this is why. Axes aren't tasked. Axes aren't created specifically to kill people. Axes are used to chop wood. Guns.
All right, Walmart
are created
guns.
I'm sorry, Andre. A missile is that now? If you're asking people who buy and sell guns and shit like that, yes, you are implicit. I don't care what nobody says. Oh, it's all right, blah 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 blah. But you're implicit. Like you're selling things that people use to kill people. I'm also selling things that people use to protect people. You're not selling martial arts. Are you selling goddamn security systems?
No,
you're selling guns. So you absolutely are, in my opinion, you're implicit. Now,
y'all keep talking. I need a tinkle.
Okay, well, we talking at you, so we'll go to another topic.
I'm hearing.
I just feel like in general, you have to. I just think it's so easy for us to say Sharon Carter is a villain, but what we notice about the Avengers is like the lines are blurry.
Yes.
So we don't know where they're going to go with this story.
So that was the thing I was going to say about Sharon Carter. So I think what they're setting her up as is kind of like Carly in their own way, because that was one of the main things that they were kind of getting at, and then he said it. Sam said it at the end, is that why do you think that all these people are supporting Carly? You are talking about this, that, and the other thing, but there's this whole movement that this teenage girl was able to start that got so far to put your lives in danger. Like that's how serious that this is, and I think that's kind of what they're setting, because there was an exchange between Carly and Sharon that was really telling in that way, where Carly was like, yeah, I want to change the world, but not the way that you want to. You want to be in control of the new world. I want the new world to be organic and to exist on its own. That was Carly's kind of idea. Versus Sharon saying, I want the same ideals. I want to reach the same ideals. One whatever it was, where essentially we are giving to everyone, and there isn't that 1% and all these other things like that. It's the dissipation of those institutions, which they are both technically fighting for, but Sharon in the end wants to institute a different system that is inclusive of everyone, and I think that's one of the things that we're going to see with Sharon, and I kind of hope, because I feel like she's playing the villain part and then not. She's playing the villain part because she's following rules that do not coincide with the rules that we currently go by. You get me? So like Captain America, I would say in a way represents like our capitalist society, for example, and things like that. So Sharon is saying we can do better than capitalism is kind of where I feel like they're kind of going with her, which is where they were going with Carly, but Carly was more the extreme. Sharon is less the extreme, more of let's manipulate what we have to get that end result. So I feel like she is kind of a kingpin in her way. She's a villain in her way, but that they're showing villains in a light that's different. They're showing them in a redeemable light, that they have genuine motives. They're villains, yeah, because of the way that they are achieving their goals, but their goals themselves aren't necessarily something terrible. You know what I mean? That was the whole point. Carly's goal, her entire purpose, the entire purpose of the Flag Smashers isn't something that's so terrible. There's something there that needs to be addressed, and that's kind of the point there. So I feel like Sharon is like the next level of that as they kind of build to resolving those issues within the MCU universe, I want to say. But I just think people will be surprised that she's not a villain. Yeah, I think after a while, it's not that she's going to be a villain. I think she's going to be like one of those characters. I think it'll be like Catwoman. She's playing the role. She's playing everybody towards that better ending, that more utopian ending, I would say. You get me? Is kind of what she's.
The after credit scene where she literally said, "I'm now involved I'm now back in the position to get you guys
Yes, to get all these things.
Like private
but stop.
Wait. Hold up, Julian. Let me say something really quick.
Who's she mobilizing? The Flag Smasher. She's mobilizing certain.
But we don't know who she's mobilizing. I think the point was that Julian. I think the point is that we don't know who she's mobilizing, right? But this is the thing about it, like we are American or North American, whatever, right? So we always want to say that we're the good guys.
No.
Are we?
No, never.
So it's interesting, like, I mean, because even when you look at this, like, saw how easy they spit John Walker out. No lie, current Sharon Carter feels an awful lot like Mystique from the 70s and 80s. I'm feeling that. I feel like she's going to be like Catwoman Mystique type of where she just does her own thing. And I like that. I don't consider her a villain. I feel like in the new wave of Marvel, especially when Wanda about to be the next villain, period. Wanda's gonna be the next villain. Period. All this shit won't matter once Wanda starts to Wanda-ing. All these her stealing art. Who cares? Let her steal a painting. This bitch is about to ruin the whole universe. What do you mean? I just think where Marvel is going, Sharon is gonna be. I think this is what I'm gonna say. Sharon wants money. She does not want people to die. She doesn't want to hurt people and kill people. That's not where her heart lies. And a lot of the times in the Marvel universe, that's where the line is. Loki has his own series.
I don't think it's money.
Loki, they're turning into a good guy who was literally our first bad guy.
Yeah.
I just don't think that they're going to make Wanda out to be like no big villain. She'll be an anti-hero at best.
Yeah. They're going to turn her around and they turn Loki around eventually.
Of course. Because Wanda already a villain.
But that is also Wanda's storyline. She is a villain at a point. She's a villain in certain storylines. She's a villain in a number of X-Men story arcs. But then she turns around. So it's like you gotta they're just following the formula of anything.
Okay, guys, so we're almost at time. So this is what we're gonna do. Tell us your favorite moment of the entire series, Ricky.
Oh, the Dora Milaje coming in and like kicking ass. The Dora Milaje's jurisdictions, wherever they find themselves in. And I said, yes, ma'am. Because like I said, how dare John Walker think he could just go up to the Dora Milaje, put his hand on Ao's shoulder like, we buddies. I don't know you, fool. No, don't touch me.
Listen.
I don't know you like that. And that's why you got your ass kicked.
Beat his ass so bad that motherfucker took a super serum.
He was like, "You're not even super
Yeah. He was real sad. He should have been.
Because if you paid attention to in your military class, you would know that majority of your military gear, your high tech stuff, came from Wakanda. Hello. You don't think they know what they're doing? Hello. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm done.
Chris, what's your favorite moment of the whole series?
It's too trite. It's too trite.
Do it. I love it. Love trite.
When it was Captain America and the Winter Soldier
at the end. Yes.
And then they played the credit, and it was Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Wait, which one?
Dang, Julian. At the end.
At the end.
The end.
When they changed it.
They changed the credits.
Oh,
they changed it. And it wasn't the Falcon. It was Captain America and the Winter. It's like they did with Ugly Betty. And they dropped the ugly and it was just Betty. And like, oh my God. And I died.
I'm here for it.
No, he didn't make the Ugly Betty reference on their ass.
Because it was the same. It was the same feeling.
Oh my gosh, Chris.
For me.
Sorry.
For me.
That was really dope. Like at the end when they were like, Captain America and the Winter Soldier. I was just like, okay. Yeah, I love the final card. The final card was dope. That's what, like, we was watching it and I was bitching about everything. And when they did that, I literally was like, okay.
All right.
I might have missed the final card, and I think that's why I'm like, wait, what are you talking
That's okay. Just go back and watch it. Julian, what was your favorite part?
Just the final card. I missed. Honestly, okay, it's a toss-up tie because the when Bucky is first talking to the psychiatrist, that part got me. I was like, okay, I'm here for all this.
Really?
I'm here for all of this writing. Something about that writing. Something about and honestly, all the therapy scenes afterwards, I was there for. Honestly, all the therapy scenes, even with the therapist and then without, but the therapy scenes, I was there for. And then, but other than that, Sam's speech. I'm sorry, Sam's speech for me is big because it's like, to me, I felt like I related to what it's like to like talk to that audience. To talk to that audience. That's what it is for me. It's like I know what it's talking to the audience is like all the fucking time, and it's tiring. So it's like I cried when I saw that scene because I was just like, oh, this is. Thank you. Say these things that people need to hear. Say these things that people who are watching this, who are going to watch this, who aren't expecting these things or don't normally care for these things. Now it's in their faces because otherwise they would say, oh, that's all relegated to Black Panther stuff. I just don't need to see the movie and then I just won't never get exposed to certain things. You get me? So like that was nice for me. I like that because it's like, yeah, shove it down their motherfucking throats. A bitch needs to fucking hear it. A motherfucker needs to goddamn hear it so that we can all have a little bit of love. You know? That's all. I cried a little, but those are my primary tops.
Okay. Dondre? What was your favorite part about the series?
Favorite part about the series?
Now he's glitchy too.
No,
I'm gonna be honest. It's gonna be a negative. It's my favorite part about the series was literally when Lamar got killed, and no.
Oh my god!
He was like, "Fuck that character."
Go ahead.
Lamar actually felt like a great character, well played, well acted. Like the writing for Lamar was great. I wanted Battlestar in the future. But I'm sorry, the way they added up to him like taking the serum and becoming senile and being like that villain, the U.S. agent I know, was perfect. From the whole scene of him like finally chasing him down, meeting him in the square, knocking him out, and then pretty much, off screen severing his head. That was so good. And then the simple frame of him like holding the shield covered in blood and like you could see he's twitching. He's ticking.
He did that
like
really
a whole
well.
bomb. Like it was so well played out. It was so perfect. Like again, people hate John Walker because the man acted to a T.
I'm sad because he takes that role next to Professor Umbridge. Bitch, he goes. He's up there. He's up there.
That's a dumb.
He did well, but Professor Umbridge,
he's up there.
bitch.
Professor Umbridge,
she's like, no.
She always reigns supreme. I'm sorry. She's the
Everybody was like, no.
No, because whenever I see her, she could be the nicest person on the screen. I'm like, I don't like that.
Nuh-uh, bitch. Get
I
off.
can give Wyatt Russell. I can see Wyatt Russell in something else and totally forget that he played this part. Whoever that woman is who played Professor Umbridge. She don't even have a name no more. That's Professor Umbridge.
She has a name, and I remember it sometimes, but
I don't. Like, I just see Umbridge, and I'm like,
Bitch McTitties. That's her name. Bitch McTitties.
Like, she played that part. She played that part because I don't care who she is. I don't want to know who she is. I'm like, no. No, ma'am.
Yeah. Because you know what, John Walker wouldn't like. I hate him as a character, but he wouldn't compare to Joffrey Lannister.
No. I think they're up there.
Joffrey Lannister. That's another one.
For me, he's up there.
He's Homelander. He's Homelander from The Boys because Homelander is. If you watch The Boys, Homelander is what that just this, like, he's like the typical blonde hair, blue eyes, strong American guy, and like, he's so like self-involved and does not realize that like he is not.
It's not about you,
right? Like, but like that's.
I'm surprised. I actually never was impressed by Homelander like that, but I get it.
I wasn't impressed by John Walker either. So I mean,
they're both not very impressionable to be very bad.
I mean, it is what it is.
Okay,
it's the type of impression.
I'm going to say mine really quick so we can Wrap up tonight's episode. Dondre, you went. Yeah. My favorite part was honestly the fight scene between when they took the shield from him.
That was nice.
I had to do it. He killed more.
I was like, beat his ass. Yes. And then Winter Soldier was. I low key feel like we caught Winter. This is one of the moments where I was like, Winter Soldier, just be the Winter Soldier. Fuck this.
Just do it.
Gold
just be the Winter Soldier. And because he was being Bucky right then, he was being Bucky right then. If he was being a Winter Soldier, that would have been a quick ass fight. I'm sorry, that fight would have been like.
I love the fact that
like when they broke his arm, I literally audibly said, "Yeah, fuck that man." Like I was so like, when he's like, it was so cathartic for me. Like he was like when he was like, "Just give us the shield," and dude was like, "Oh, so that's what it's about." I said, "This bitch ass nigga still stuck."
This dumb ass.
You just murdered this man. You represent a whole country, and you just murdered this man, and you saw them cell phones, and you still trying to find your way out of it. And then he was like, "Winter Soldier," like Sam was still trying to be Captain America. Like, all right, we can do this peacefully. Winter Soldier already knew what was up. He was like,
"No,
that's what this is.
Give me that goddamn shield."
And it was a good fight. It was a good. Now I was kind of upset at like I was like, if you ain't had took that serum, boy, you better be happy you took that serum. Hey, it would have drank the flow with your ass if you took that serum. But because he took the serum, he could put up a little fight. But that arm definitely got snapped.
That was my moment for me.
Oh man, that was the best part. I was in it. I've been waiting for that moment since the end of episode 1. I have been waiting for that moment since the end of episode 1.
Yes, absolutely.
So, all right, guys. So that's our review of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That was a lot of fun. We will be back in 2 weeks, and in that 2 weeks' time, Chris will be hosting an episode, and his episode is going to be about.
We're going to be doing best and worst movie musicals, y'all. So bring your A game.
That means Grease. It's going to be on the worst list.
That means Aladdin.
Going to be in there somewhere.
It's going to be on the what list?
Yeah, worst.
No, okay. All right. We're throwing down right now.
Get the scroll.
We're ending the show. What are you talking about?
We will be talking about Grease. We will be talking about all that fun stuff. All right. In the meantime, we have a lot of great things. Tuesday night, we have the WAHR Power Hour, an hour and a half of great music, great tunes, right here on Nelly Media's network, hosted by DJ TGI Fridays, our friend Jim Farr. Wednesday, we will have our live comic book drawing every Wednesday. Last week, he did Invincible. 2 weeks before that, he did, it wasn't Joker. Batman. No, it's Daredevil. It's Daredevil. Ooh. I'm not sure what he's doing this week, but
Wednesday's at what time?
Wednesday's at 9 Eastern. 8 Central. He does a tutorial every week. Follow along with him, asking questions. It's really fun. Thursday, we have Talk It Out, hosted by Mo Smith Pro. We're going to be talking about culture vultures. Friday, we have a hiatus. Saturday, we have a hiatus. And Sunday, we'll be back with an episode of Sip and Kiki. We'll be talking about both episodes of the Real Housewives reunion. We've got a fun week lined up for you, and you can catch us every day, pretty much every night except Friday, which we will be filling Friday night and Saturday night soon once I'm done with these shows. And we will have something for you every night on the Nelly Media Network. Please go ahead and take this opportunity to go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. If you're watching us on YouTube, please like our YouTube video, subscribe to the link, hit the notification bell. You can do the same by visiting the Geekin Out page on Facebook. Geekin Out, spelled just like you see it, GEEKIN'_out. You can also find Talk It Out, and Nelly Media. And if you like any of those pages, anytime, and you click the notification bell, the notification bell will let you know anytime we're live doing any of our fun content. If there's anything that you want to see that we're not doing or that you want to suggest, just let us know that you love us. We appreciate it. We had a great time tonight reviewing Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We will see you all in 2 weeks for our best and worst movie musicals. We love you guys. Thanks for geeking out with us.